I want to thank y'all for tuning in the video today. Today we're going to talk about the TRX, the 2027 that's coming out. And y'all, there is a ton of differences between what we're going to call the Gen 1 TRX and what's going to be the Gen 2 TRX. We're going to cover some of that in this video. The other thing I want to cover is the RHO. We're going to talk about it and some of those differences and how they're going to be carried into the new TRX, okay? There's some videos out there right now saying, oh, it's the same truck. There's some videos out there that say, you know, the RHO is bad. There's some videos out there that say, oh, wait, you know, if you don't, you need to wait if you want to purchase one of these until they get an over surplus of inventory. The first thing I'm going to tell y'all is if you want a 2027 TRX, you need to be in front of a GM at a dealership and making an agreement to purchase, okay? They're going to get so many allocations for how many 1,500 Rams they've sold in the past few months, and then that's all they're going to get. And so, y'all, when I make a deal to buy one of the trucks, the time to do it is 6 months before it comes out. If you know it's coming out, okay? The minute the hype hits and these go into production and they're shipping to dealers, that's when ADMs are gonna happen, okay? It's gonna happen. There's no, if you're thinking that's not gonna happen, it's the way it is. It's because they're allocation, okay, when they come out. They're not gonna be just open order, okay? We know that, Ram's already said that. If they were gonna be open order, well, then you could get them at discount, okay? The difference is too, is Ram has dropped the MSRPs on, we'll say Ram, Jeep, Stellantis, they've dropped some of the MSRPs on vehicles. And so the difference in the spread between the invoice and the MSRP is a lot less. I'm gonna give you an example, like a 392 Moab Jeep, right? You go look at what the invoice is and what the MSRP is, right? You can go buy a 392 Jeep for an 82 to 84 sticker, depending on how you order it, right? That 392 Jeep last year was over $100,000. Okay, but the difference is now is the spread is not as big between the invoice and the MSRP. So what can you expect the invoice and MSRP to be different on this? I don't know. I mean, there's no guarantees, but I'm guessing it's not going to be $10,000 like $100,000 HD is, right? It's probably going to be 4 to 6 if I was guessing, and that's just my opinion, okay? So there's not as much room to negotiate in those trucks because there's not as much spread on MSRP to invoice, okay? Like I said, if you want to buy one, you need to go negotiate that with a dealer. You need to talk to them about what you're gonna pay over invoice and between MSRP, and whatever the numbers are, that's what it's gonna be. Do not wait for the hype to buy it, okay? Okay, the next thing we're gonna talk about is they say, oh, RHO is bad. Okay, y'all look, this RHO, I've had a lot of trucks. I'm not giving this one up. Y'all, I bought a Raptor R for 2 months. It's gone. Went and picked up another 26 RHO. And that was knowing that I was gonna get a TRX, okay? The hands-free driving, the massage seats, which are two options that are in the RHO that are gonna get carried to the TRX. Y'all, I have to have that. After you have those two options, you will not want a vehicle without them, okay? And the TRX is gonna have it. It's gonna be standard equipment. And so, you know, that's another difference. The other difference is if you have a 24 or lower, right? I've driven the first edition TRXs. I had one, and then I've driven the final edition TRX. And y'all, those drive good. They're good trucks, but the suspension and the electrical architecture is completely different. And how fast the shocks communicate with the vehicle. This new system is much faster. The rack and pinion is different because it has hands-free driving. And that's why this truck drives more like a sports car in comparison to the Gen 1 TRX. To me, that truck feels a little boaty. It's a little floaty. It's not as like stable, stuck to the ground. I really like how the suspension and this truck responds. The RHO with these E2 shocks and the better communication is what's it. Plus you get the massage seats and the hands-free drive, okay? You will also get the bigger screen from this truck that is in there, okay? You will get a power tailgate that lifts, which is nice. There's just a lot of little things that are different that they're not really talking about, okay? And so just want to cover some of those today and then cover how to order it, how to get it, you know, where you need to make those deals. And y'all, this RHO, I put 30,000 miles on my 25. Hit 10,000 miles today on this 26, y'all. I've had 0 issues. Now, I'm gonna sit here and say, Ram launched a new engine, this Hurricane, they launched a new architecture, right? They pretty much launched a lot of new stuff in this truck. And they had a little bit of issues for a 25 in the beginning, but most of them they recalled, they took care of them if there was issues, okay? I didn't have any with mine. But when you look at this 26, y'all, it's 10,000 miles, 0 issues. Now you're gonna get one here and there that's gonna have it. I get that. That's every manufacturer. But for them launching all of those new things and having the little problems they have, and then not only that, I'm gonna wait for you to tell me what other manufacturer is giving you a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty on a new platform that they just launched. Okay, so you're basically worry-free. So this Hurricane engine, to me, for 540 horsepower, and I'm gonna give it a good comparison because, you know, there's a lot of V8 trucks out there, and y'all, the V8s are great, but I'm diesel. I like the torque, I like the low end torque, and that's the only thing that's gotten me to shift to a gas motor, okay? Going from my diesels into this gas motor, I'm good with it. It shifts at low RPM. It builds a lot of boost at low RPM. This inline six with the twin turbo, it's great. I mean, this truck right here, there's nothing else in the market that I want to be in comparison to everything that's out there. And I've driven them all, okay? Hands-free driving, massage seats. This thing gets 14 to 16 miles to the gallon. You know, you almost get 17 on a road trip. For a truck this size, to have 540 horsepower, that runs and shifts as smooth as it does, there's really not anything else luxury on the market that's gonna even compete with this interior, and to get the 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty included in it. Now, when I first bought my first RHO, I did not even know. I was just like, it looked cool. I was gonna do content because I had a 1-ton order, and I said, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up and I'm gonna do content on it. We picked it up, we took it on a trip to Tennessee. I went to Tennessee and back. By the time I got back, I took my 1-ton on delivery because it came in. I drove it for 2 weeks, and I traded this one, my 25 in, went and repurchased it back. And I was like, okay, I'm moving back to that RHO. I mean, it just, unless you've driven one, you can't really, there's a lot of other YouTubers that are out there. Barry with C-Tech, I know he doesn't mind me mentioning his name, but if you go look, there's even a Toyota guy out there. There's a lot of guys that have purchased these RHOs, and y'all, if you noticed, we've hooked onto them. We're not letting them go, okay? The RHO is a great daily driver. It rides great, it drives great. The cabin noise is very minimal. It drives like a sports car. It has the power when you need it. It gets the efficiency. I don't know how many more boxes you can check. It has the most luxurious interior on the market. And if I seem a little passionate about this, it's because you just see people making these videos, oh, RHO bad. They've never even had one. If you count me buying my first one twice, this is my third one behind me. 0 issues, okay? So just wanted to put that out there. You know, I mean, it's just, if you get a chance to go drive one, go drive it. Put it in sport mode. Generally on the first 500 miles, these do have a break-in thing, and the TRX is the same way, like launches and opened up. And so I don't think you get the full power until you get past that 500 miles. I noticed mine, it seemed like it came in pretty good, but if you're gonna go test drive one, make sure you throw it in sport mode. It'll be sold. I mean, it's just a great truck. It has great towing. It just does everything that you need it to do. Okay, so just want to show y'all the interior real quick. So like I said, you look at the door panels, y'all. Just the stitching. You got the massage seat button here. This whole truck. And some of the things that are different is you can see we've got the camera, which if you get the level 1 RHO, that's the self-driving camera. So as soon as you look in a truck, you'll see if it has that. That's whether it's a level 0 or level 1. But y'all, it's just, if you don't like the dial shifter on the Rams, well, guess what? You get a console shifter, and then you can see the screen's a little bigger on these, how it lifts up above that. It's a lot wider. Get the digital rearview mirror, y'all. This one's got the sunroof, but just a really nice truck, really plush. You can see I actually have the console safe in mine here. And then the other thing is, and a lot of trucks don't have this, but this truck has heated and cooled back seats, which is pretty class exclusive. I haven't seen any that have that yet. The other thing I really like about this truck is it has the full fold down console. Now, a lot of people get these trucks, and for me to be able to have your arm, be able to sit up like you are in the front is really nice. You know, something you can actually lean on this. It's got a little cubby in it and it folds up, but having that full console is nice. The other thing in these trucks that a lot of people miss is under here, You can pull this lever. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. You have reclining rear seats. Class exclusive, y'all. My kids definitely like the back seat in this truck out of all the trucks that I have had because of that console and that they recline on long trips. With the bed utility group, you get that step. And then you also get a power tailgate, which is really nice. You can see I've got just a bed mat in there, but it also has the button right here. It will lift the tailgate up and close it for you. For those of you that are worried about fuel mileage on the TRX, I'm going to talk two things for you, okay? You can't really just go put a 100-pound tire and go put wheels that weigh 46 pounds or 48 pounds and expect not to change the fuel mileage, okay? Now, Ram has done a really good job. If you want top-notch fuel mileage, these Goodyears that they sell on this is one of the best all-terrain tires I've ran, y'all. And I think if you look at it, it's a little above 60 pounds. It's probably the lightest tire on the market that you're going to find with 118 mile an hour speed rating. Okay, so if you go change any of that, that's where it's going to change on your TRX significantly. The RHO made a little bit of difference, probably 2 miles to the gallon to go to those 37 BFGs. But these are actually, and I picked the 37 BFG Cam 3s because they're one of the lightest. I mean, I think it's 76 pounds for a 37 1350, which I like that wide look. You know, when you go taller, they get kind of narrow. I wanted that little bit taller tire, but I didn't want a full 37 because I didn't want to eat up my fuel mileage. I didn't want to eat up my power, my efficiency, you know, all the things that the truck is. Now, I will say with the 37s, it does have a little bit more of a boaty feeling. It's not bad. It still rides really good. But in comparison to those all-terrains are like driving a sports car on this truck. I mean, the stock configuration is really nice. And like I said, maybe 2 miles to the gallon difference on this one. And I know because I had a 21 TRX that I ordered new, and I threw some Nitto ridge grappers on it, and I threw some fuel wheels on it that were extremely heavy, okay? I could have made different choices at the time, but I pulled the stocks off and put those on there, and that truck suffered fuel mileage significantly because even though it was just a 325, you know, it was a little bit taller on a 35-inch tire, but the weight is what killed the mileage. And, you know, just to kind of explain to y'all, so if you're worried about fuel mileage on a TRX, if you're gonna buy a TRX and you're gonna put 37s on it, it's gonna drink fuel. Now, I know most people that are buying them aren't worried about it, but there is a difference, okay? If you want a TRX and you're gonna keep it with a stock configuration, you're not gonna be too bad. Probably in the 13 to 15, you know, on your daily driving. You know, if you do a lot of idling in town, that may whittle down on that a little bit, or if your foot's really heavy. But I'm talking about like road tripping. I mean, you might still get 14 to 15 miles to the gallon on that truck if you're running stock tires. If you're gonna go with a heavy 37-inch, it's gonna eat the economy up. It does eat it some on the RHO, but it's not as bad as it is on the TRX. So if fuel mileage is something you're thinking about, you need to consider if you're gonna throw 37s on it. You know, if you're looking for a good daily driver, you're gonna throw 37s on it, the RHO does a pretty good job. It really does. There's lots of people at RHO forums, you can go check them out. Lots of people put 37s on them. It doesn't affect the power and the mileage too much. And these inline sixes just don't drink that fuel when you're in town or you're idling. It just does a little bit better. Where that supercharged V8 has the parasitic load. So when it's sitting there idling at a red light, it's drinking that fuel, okay? And so you gotta weigh that out and what you want. But anyway, I'm gonna close this video out today. Thanks for watching. Hope it helped you. Hit that like and subscribe. And I've got some more content coming. I got a few more things I've purchased, but I'm still waiting on the TRX still. So until we hear something on that, looks like we're August production. So I'm hoping maybe June or July ordering, but I'll update y'all as soon as I hear something on that. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.